Hi, guys, I'm Adrian, and today's show, The Bear. Let's get one thing straight. I've worked in the restaurant business for a few years now, and I can 120% approve The Bear in the authenticity it provides. The stress that can be built while working in a restaurant is provided to the audience with consistency. The visual storytelling in the fast cuts and long takes grabs the audience by the brain and bangs it against the wall in beautiful fashion. The script is unapologetic and I absolutely love it. The passion we see these characters express is just so yes. The arguments are tense and the jokes are awesome and are all directly built from the characters. There are so many personalities that must find balance in a restaurant, and when everybody is stressed, this can be an epic task. One thing you do find in the restaurant, though, is that when a strong and busy job is done, the staff grows a little closer, whether it went good or bad. We see this through the entirety of The Bear and how even the arguments force the characters to grow closer. The trauma that Carmi and Richie have to deal with is expressed in Richie's attitude and Carmi's drive to keep the restaurant alive. I'm sure when John Bernthal dies, the whole world will experience a few years of grief. The Bear is what you call excellent television. The Bear wants you to feel how hectic a restaurant is, feel the tension between characters, feel the pain characters go through, and feel the hardship that everyone goes through to make this restaurant into something great. The Bear is an emotional roller coaster every step of the way. The Bear follows Carmi, an excellent chef who used to run the world's greatest restaurant and has left his family sandwich shop when his brother commits suicide. Carmi now does everything in his power to turn this restaurant from okay to excellent in conjunction to his brother's legacy. Now be warned, spoilers ahead. Let's start with Tina. Tina is a bit older than most of the staff, but has been a cook at the Beef for 15 years. You do not mess with Tina. Although Tina has a hot head, she has a good heart. Like anyone, though, and most of the original staff, she doesn't like change. They've had a certain way they've done things for the 15 years she's been there, and changing that is shown as growing pains with Tina. We see her getting into arguments and refusing to assimilate to the new way of doing things. We see this with her not changing her apron once a uniform is mandated. Tina refuses to accept the new recipes, and we see that she is stubborn. But like any good character, we see growth. After she finally tries the new food and realizes how good it is, she realizes what Carmi is trying to do. Tina realizes that we can make good food and do it better. She grows beautifully, and we even see her show her heart in hiring her delinquent relative. Now, Marcus is probably my favorite character, a true man of passion. We see how he admires the culinary craft and his admiration for Carmi's skills and his drive to make the perfect donut. We get to see that Marcus is a great cook and loves what he does. We also learn that his favorite food is donuts, not because of the taste, but because of the texture, then the art and the craft that went into them. He then asks Carmi if he could try and make a great donut. We see Marcus get carried away, ignoring his hygiene and even staying overnight at the restaurant. We even see him getting yelled at when he neglects his duties in pursuit of the perfect donut. The audience resonates with Marcus, but we also understand the stress and tension restaurant hours entail. This helps us understand both perspectives when Marcus finally makes the perfect donut, but Carmi smacks it on the ground for failing duties. I also want to say how much I love the fact that they tried the donut off the floor just because of how clean Carmi keeps it. This makes Marcus quit, but of course he comes back because the Beef is a place of love and family. Sydney went to CIA, that's Culinary Institute of America to be clear, and is overqualified for the Beef but wants to work there because it means something to her. She used to go there as a kid. Now being the second most qualified, Carmi appoints her to sous chef, taking a leadership role. We see her try and form an understanding with Carmi pretty much every episode while taking orders from him and taking his yelling and cursing nonstop. She does a damn good job at all of it. We gotta love her sarcasm and how she uses it to cope, and I love her rivalry with Richie. I think her biggest and best trait is her resilience. She is the only one who manages to keep it cool even when you think she isn't. We get her having one spaz attack towards the end of the season, but it is well deserved and well overdue. but we know that she is resilient, so she comes back after leaving because the restaurant is something real. Richie is a very problematic character in The Bear. This stems from his nasty attitude, his drug dealing, his need to talk over anyone because his story is more important, but also from his need for love and affection, his yearning for his daughter, and of course, dealing with the death of John Bernthal. We can see that Richie loves the restaurant, but not the new way of doing things. He also doesn't feel that Sydney deserves recognition as he has seniority. We get to see Richie stumble and fall to get back up again to probably fulfill the cycle. Despite all of Richie's cons, he has a heart and is still human. We get to see what it means to be accepted for the shit you bring through Richie. We get to see what unconditional love is, and I think this is a good place to talk about Carmy. Carmy is an extremely talented chef who once ran the world's greatest restaurant. This was a very organized kitchen, and Carmy does his best to turn his family sandwich shop into a French brigade. Of course, this comes with its stumbles, and most people don't like change, and Carmy's leadership isn't always helpful. We see him constantly getting in fights with Richie and screeching at the rest of the employees on the regular. We see Carmy become his last boss. Carmy also has a Peter Parker complex, as in the world absolutely shits on him, but he keeps going and tries to do the best that he can. One thing I like about the show is that we can justify this because the show takes the audience as if they work at the beef as well. So we understand why Carmy screams and curses. Doesn't make it okay, but we understand. That's the best thing we can get from a character. We get to see Carmy finally unload his baggage at a support group, and we learn that the restaurant is his way of carrying his brother's legacy. It's his way of mourning and coping with the suicide. This is why he gives his life to the restaurant. This is what makes the beef into the bear. I want to thank you guys for watching my video on Lip Gallagher and his future endeavors. Much love for FX for dropping another banger. I just want to say thank you guys for your support. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next one.